Hello everybody, we're back doing some magic.
Magic.
So this is a deck tech, and it's Germs.
Germs.
It's Germs. So I figured, you know, with all this COVID-19 stuff going on, which I assume at this point is pretty well affecting everybody, except for Greenland.
Well,
Apparently.
I mean, it affected them very slightly.
Yeah, but go
apparently
Greenland.
They've all recovered.
Yeah.
Which is good, because now the Plague Inc. player has to figure out how to reinfect them.
Yeah, exactly. You know, this is topical. So yeah, it's a Germ tribal deck, which I must say it's not great, but it is funny. So of course we're using a Tron shell because all of these living weapon style cards cost colorless mana. In some cases, quite a bit of it.
A lot of colorless mana.
Yeah, and that provides that. So yeah, we're gonna start at the ones here. So we have Expedition Map. Of course, it's a Tron deck. You need to find those Tron pieces. Chromatic Star. It's kind of similar. A lot of Tron decks have this sort of effect, and we actually do need sometimes to filter to white or blue, potentially. So, usable. But then we get into the weird stuff. So this is like regular old Tron. But then we have Flare Husk. So 1 mana for a living weapon. So it comes with a Germ, which obviously is 0/0 and can't survive on its own. But the equipment gives it +1/+1, so it's allowed to survive. Then we'll go to 2s. So we have Metallic Mimic. This is one of the ways to, of course, pump our Germs. We pick Germ, and when we do that, our opponent scratches their head and says, "What now?" But yeah, Metallic Mimic, that's one option. And then Adaptive Automaton is another one. So again, pick Germ, and creatures that are Germs get +1/+1. So those are pretty good. More of these, we have Mortar Pod, also at 2. So same thing, living weapon, but this actually also provides a really slow win condition, because you can just shoot your opponent to death with the tokens, and if you can somehow keep producing tokens, then that's not bad. And I'll get into one of the ways you can do that later, and it is a slog, I will tell you. So up here we have Stoneforge Mystic, so she of course can fetch out any equipment. We have our suite of living weapons, which are equipment, so quite good. Batterskull, we'll do this first actually. So this is at 5, it's our big boy. You should know what Batterskull does by now, but there's one kind of fun interaction. If you put a Mortar Pod on a Batterskull token and throw the token at your opponent, you do gain 1 life because it also has lifelink, but then you can just return the Batterskull, play it again. That gives a new token, put the Mortar Pod on it, shoot your opponent. It's for the low cost of 10 mana per pop. But I won a game against a Taking Turns deck on Magic Online by doing that. I just had endless Tron pieces. Yeah, a 10 mana loop. It's pretty. Well, I was a little less because I had a couple Stoneforge Mystics, so I could reduce the full cost of recasting Batterskull. But it was still pretty embarrassing. But that is something you can do, and it's fun, maybe. But yeah, the real MVP here, Ghostly Flicker. So exile 2 target artifacts, creatures, and or lands you control, return to the battlefield under your control, 3 mana instant speed. Very good with these living weapon cards, because you just exile the equipment, the token stays around, hopefully, and then you get a new one. It's pretty good, and it goes 2 at a time, so it's almost like you're getting 2 free creatures out of the deal. It's sweet. So then we have our full set of Tron lands, of course, because it's a Tron deck. We have a basic snow-covered plains. Doesn't have to be snow-covered, I just wanted to. Snow-covered island as well. And then we have Academy Ruins, so if we need to rebuy any of these artifacts, that's pretty good. We have 3 copies of Mutavault, which is a Germ.
That it is.
Yeah. And we have a lot of colorless costs, so I figured why not toss some of them in there. It is a tribal deck. We have 4 Spires of Industry. This is our way to cast Stoneforge Mystic and Ghostly Flicker, one of the main ways. And really, we only need 1 colored mana, typically.
Yes.
So
yeah, like either one or the other. So this works, and in a pinch you have the star, of course.
And then we have 2 Inventor's Fairs, because we actually do have a lot of cheap artifacts, so this does get turned on really early, and it's nice to just go fetch a Batterskull or a Pump Spell.
Yeah, or like if you need to do the Mortar Pod loops, then
yeah,
you have to go get that Mortar Pod.
If you just need that 10 mana drain you for 1, yeah, that can get you that action. Yeah, so that is this deck, Tron Germs.